there is a painting that has no title. When Hugo Simberg first exhibited this work in 1903, he did not give it a name. Where the title should have been, he simply left a dash, as if to say, I will not tell you what this means. You have to find that yourself. And yet, more than 100 years later, this painting was voted the most beloved artwork in all of Finland. Nearly 10,000 people chose it above everything else, a painting with no explanation, no fixed meaning, no answer, and the entire country called it their own. That is where the question begins. When you look at this painting for the first time, something stops you. Two boys are carrying a wounded angel on a makeshift stretcher. The angel is a young girl dressed in white. Her head is bandaged. Her wing is broken and bloodied. Her eyes are covered. She cannot see where she is going. In her hands, she holds a small bunch of white flowers. She does not look frightened. She does not look angry. She looks like someone who has accepted that for now, she cannot carry herself. The boys carry her in silence. No one speaks. No one looks at each other. And one of them, the boy in the back, looks directly at us, not at the angel, not at the path ahead, at us. Before we go any further, there is something you need to know about this painting. It took Hugo Simberg 5 years to finish it. The first sketch appears in a notebook from 1898. 5 years of sketches, photographs, revisions, models, and in the very first sketches, the angel was not being carried by two boys. She was being pushed in a wagon by small devils. Simberg spent 5 years changing this painting until it became what you see now. And that single decision, replacing the devils with two ordinary boys, changed everything about what this painting means. To understand this painting, you need to understand the man who painted it. Hugo Simberg was born in 1873 in Hamina, a small town in Finland. From the beginning, he was drawn to things that other artists avoided: death, spirits, the fragile line between the visible world and something beyond it. He studied under Akseli Gallen-Kallela, one of the most celebrated Finnish artists of the era, famous for illustrating Finland's national epic, the Kalevala. Later, Simberg traveled to London, Paris, and Italy. He encountered Symbolism, an artistic movement that rejected the idea of painting the world as it appears, and instead tried to paint the world as it is felt. This became his language. He painted death as a gentle gardener watering flowers. He painted skeletons carrying lanterns through dark forests. He painted the invisible things that most artists pretended did not exist. For Simberg, symbolism was not a style. It was the only honest way he knew how to see. But there is one more thing you need to know before we look at this painting again. In 1902, Hugo Simberg became seriously ill. He was hospitalized in Helsinki for several months. The illness was severe, described at the time as a nervous breakdown, though what we know today suggests it may have been meningitis, a condition known to cause neck stiffness, extreme sensitivity to light, and profound exhaustion. Look at the angel again. Her neck is lowered, her head droops forward, her eyes are bandaged, shielded from the light. Her entire body expresses a single thing: complete depletion. Simberg began the final version of this painting during his recovery. He finished it in the summer of 1903 at his home in Niemenlauta. He never said the angel was him, but he never said she wasn't. Now let us look at the angel herself. In nearly every tradition of Western art, angels are painted as triumphant, radiant, untouchable. Simberg's angel is none of these things. She is a child, blonde, barefoot, dressed in simple white. Her wing is not majestic. It hangs behind her, broken and stained with blood. Her forehead is wrapped in a white bandage. Her eyes are completely covered. She cannot see. This is the detail that changes everything. Because an angel, by definition, is a guide, a messenger, a being that shows others the way. And Simberg has painted one that cannot see where she is going. In her hands, she holds a small bunch of snowdrops. These flowers bloom at the very end of winter, before spring has fully arrived. They are associated with hope, with the first sign that something is returning after a long darkness. She is wounded, she cannot see, she is being carried by strangers, and still, she holds the flowers. The two boys carrying her are just as carefully painted as the angel. The boy walking in front is dressed entirely in black. Dark coat, dark cap, dark shoes. He looks like someone attending a funeral. His eyes are cast downward. He does not look at the angel he is carrying. He does not look ahead. He simply walks. The boy in the back is different. He is not dressed in black. His expression is harder to read, Not grief, not fear, something quieter than both. And his eyes are not looking at the angel, or at the path, or at the sky. He is looking at you. This is one of the most deliberate decisions in the entire painting. Simberg painted that gaze to break the boundary between the scene and the viewer. That boy is not looking into the distance. He is looking specifically at the person standing in front of this canvas. You are now part of what is happening. You are not watching this procession from outside. You are walking alongside it. The landscape behind them is not imagined. It is a real place. Eläintarha Park in Helsinki, with Turunlahti Bay visible in the background. The same path still exists today. But what made Simberg choose this specific location? In his time, this park was surrounded by charitable institutions. Among them was the Blind Girls' School and the Home for Cripples. The direction the boys are walking, toward those institutions, is not accidental, and yet the art historians caution us not to read this too literally. Because if this were a realistic scene, adults would be carrying the angel, not two young boys. Simberg placed the scene in a real landscape, a landscape he personally knew, without turning it into a literal story. He gave us the location as a feeling, not a fact, a place of care, a place where the broken were brought to be tended to. That is where they are going. When the wounded angel was exhibited at the Ateneum in October 1903, it became an immediate sensation. Akseli Gallen-Kallela, Simberg's own teacher, wrote to him with words that could barely contain his excitement. Simberg described the moment in a letter to his sister Blenda. His teacher told him the painting gave the impression that he had stood alone in a small cabin in the middle of a great forest and painted in complete indifference to the outside world, that it radiated peace and harmony like no other work in the exhibition. Simberg won the state prize for this painting, and when he was later commissioned to paint frescoes for Tampere Cathedral in 1905, he chose to paint a larger version of the wounded angel on the cathedral wall, his favorite painting, on the wall of a church. The wounded, blinded, broken angel placed in a house of God. But what does it mean? When people asked Simberg directly, he gave the same answer every time. The painting itself gives the answer. Everyone has to find it for themselves, so let us try. Some see in this painting an image of wounded innocence, the fragile, broken parts of ourselves that we carry without showing. Some see it as an image of damaged faith, a belief system that has been hurt but has not died. Some see it as Simberg's self-portrait, not of his face but of his condition, a being who once had power and vision, now temporarily unable to see or fly, being carried by the ordinary world until he can stand again. And some see something simpler, and perhaps more universal than all of these. Two ordinary people, not angels, not saints, just boys, choosing to carry something wounded without being asked. Not because they understand it, not because they know where they are going, but because it needs to be carried. The wounded angel has no title, no official meaning, no explanation from the man who painted it. And in 2006, more than 100 years after it was created, the people of Finland voted it their most beloved painting. Not the grandest, not the most beautiful, not the most technically perfect, the most beloved. Perhaps because everyone who has ever looked at this painting has found something in it that belongs to them. A wound they recognize, a flower they are still holding, a path they cannot see the end of, or simply the quiet, extraordinary grace of being carried by someone who does not let you fall. This is The Wounded Angel by Hugo Simberg, painted in 1903 and housed today in the Ateneum Art Museum in Helsinki, Finland. When you look at this painting, where do you find yourself? Are you the angel, one of the boys, or someone watching from the side of the path? Leave your answer in the comments. I will be reading everyone. Thank you for watching until the end. I will see you in the next video.